there's two principles that Jesus taught about interacting with other people, right? There's loving God, which is the vertical. There's the horizontal, loving our neighbor as ourselves. And the two principles that he taught that are activators of reconciliation on your side is this theological term is repentance, right? And forgiveness. So another way of saying repentance is to be a person who apologizes for their behavior. That when I recognize that I've done wrong to you, or you pointed out to me, and I recognize I violated my own value system and how I expect myself to treat you, is to own it, to apologize for it, and to commit to work on learning to do it differently, right? And so that principle is it's so simple. You know, our pride fights us so much to not do that. I mean, I'm not apologizing because you did this to me first. Or I'm not, look, when we just practice that simple principle of apologizing, even if it's something I realized I did 10 years ago, or if it was something I did yesterday, or something I just unfortunately did right now, right? I apologize for it. And that is the first principle. The second one is forgiveness, which another way of saying it in psychological terms is letting go of the hurts that I have in my heart when I'm offended, right? I'm letting them go. And I remember I was working with a client who's actually going through a divorce and just heartbroken about it and really wants to do the divorce right in a sense of walking in integrity with the ex and then also clearing things out so that they can be the best version they are all on the way out. And then perhaps down the road, if they have another relationship, to be most clear. I said it's real easy. You practice those two principles. You write down the things that you did to offend the other person in the history of your relationship, limit it to 2 notebooks. No, I'm just kidding. And then no, you just write down the biggies, right? And then you also write down the specific incidences that you were hurt by and how you felt about it and how you reacted. And you do those 2 lists. Now you don't go over it with the person, but you can go over it with a friend, therapist, coach. You can go into church and go over those lists. But that's what we call list work. And you actually clear out, you practice and activate those 2 principles personally, and it starts to clear things out. It's like doing an inventory, and you clear the stuff off the shelves in the store so that you can put something new into it. Now, when you practice those 2 principles, I'm stirred up by it right now because when I was in seminary at St. Joseph Abbey, where I'm going to go do this retreat, there is my spiritual director, Father Bill, one Ash Wednesday, which follows Fat Tuesday, which is Mardi Gras. It's the 40 days of Lent that begins on Ash Wednesday. He said, for Lent, this is what we're going to do. He says, you're going to do a history of your resentments in life.
Transform You is an intensive online coaching program that Holly Kim and I lead. It's for individuals and couples. If you're interested in exploring whether it's right for you, click on the link below and book a call, and we'll see if this is a good program for you. Now back to the teaching.
Like, just do a history. What happened, how you felt, how you reacted. And you can start from the first memory that comes to you and just bounce around and just write that list over the next 40 days.
Oh, wow. It's more than 2 notebooks for me, baby.
And so, okay, all right, Father Bill, I'll do that. And then after the 40 days, on Good Friday, right? Lent ends on really Friday, Easter Sunday. On Good Friday, we're going to sit down and we're going to do the confessional thing. And your confession is just to go over your list. Just read it to me. And so I was like raw as a, I mean, I wasn't used to this emotional stuff. And I read the entire list to him and went through the life history of experiences, events in the house, outside the house, friends, this and that. That Sunday was one of the lightest feelings I've ever had in my life. I mean, I was just, so much was cleared out. I felt so connected to God. I felt really enlightenment in the true sense of being enlightened. I was just, everything was lightened. It was lifted off. And it was such a beautiful experience, but it was because I practiced what the second part, letting go of the hurts that I had been carrying for so long. So when we practice those two simple principles of repentance and forgiveness, or learning to apologize and letting go of our hurts, it actually ushers in God's presence into a situation. I've said this before. If you want heaven in your room, practice those two principles. If you want hell in the room, practice the opposite. Never apologize and never forgive. Like, just hold on to your hurts. I promise hell's going to come into the room. And so those two principles are so key. They're very simple. They're not easy, but they're worth just being intentional about that. And if you know anything about the 12 steps, that's basically what it's all about. Step 1 is identifying the things that I've done that have hurt other people. Step 4 is identifying the things that other people have done to hurt me. And then you get into the later steps, and it says for you to make amends or to express sorrow to those, if it's appropriate, to express sorrow to those that you have harmed. And it clears things out. And Bill's promise is, after you do the forgiveness work, he says, most people have a spiritual experience.
Yeah.
Wow. So I can have a spiritual experience vertically if I do this work horizontally with my life. Yes.
Hey, thank you for watching this teaching from Transform You. I hope it's been beneficial for you. If you're interested in our program, Transform You, our online intensive coaching program, click on the link below, book a call with us, and we can see if this is the right program for you. Also, if you want more information about Holly Kim and I and the program in general, click on this video now, and it'll give you an in-depth understanding of Holly Kim and I and our program. God bless.